everyone and welcome to my channel. The second elimination of Boys Planet just happened and we just said goodbye to 23 contestants as we went from 51 to 28 trainees. As you can imagine, we lost a lot of talented, precious, shiny boys. Those eliminations just get more and more brutal as we actually get to know and create a link with more trainees. Seeing them go is very heartbreaking to say the least. But before I start shedding tears, we got to see a lot of how the third mission would be going. Got a lot of fun parts. So let's start with that. And then we can go on and talk about who I'm gonna miss the most, changes in the top 9, and whatever else. The third mission, called Artist Mission, is the one where trainees no longer need to cover songs from other artists, but instead will perform original songs created specifically for this mission. And the 5 songs which we have been shown snippets of over the last 2 weeks are Switch, which sounds very nice, Supercharger, which is like bad, but every time you think of it, you cannot get rid of it in your head. Like I go to sleep and then every time I read the name, I think about so catchy. So maybe it's gonna be the best song out of all of them, even though it's the worst song. Over Me, which is the sexy song. More towards the R&B-ish side. Very nice, very sultry. Say My Name. Basically the only song I think that has a fresh concept. White outfits, vibes, and whatever. And then we have En Garde, which is perfect. Magnificent, beautiful. Just everything I want to hear in a song. I don't even know how much we got to listen to it, but it's amazing. Okay? Amazing. There are around 10 trainees on each group. The first group that they showed us a bit of was Say My Name, and they had this whole prank about having to kick someone out, and then Yujin kicked Woongi out, and then Jiwon came in, and Woongi was crying. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. The kind of pranks that we love. I love the content, I love everything. And then we got to see a little bit of En Garde. They were dividing themselves and seeing who got the killing parts. And we had that Gyubin and Gangwook got the killing parts, which was nice, I guess. Not much happened in this group. They were just deciding on the killing parts. We have a pretty stacked group. We also saw a bit of them performing. To be very honest, there was a lot of drama in other groups, and this one, nothing. It was just like, okay, we're gonna win, and you know, we'll see. And then we got to see the Say My Name group, how the practice was going. They appointed Sang Hanbin as a leader, and while Sang Hanbin was helping everyone out doing the choreography and whatever, he steps out of the room for a moment, and Matthew kind of takes the lead in teaching people. We've seen Matthew want to be the leader, and also he has been the leader in Love Kill Us, so I think it's kind of natural for him to just go and step up. But then they put music and like dung 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 dung, and they focused on Sang Hanbin's face, and he wasn't really happy about it, but he wasn't mean about it either. He was like, oh, I like that he's helping out. But the way we teach the choreography is a bit different, which may provoke problems in the long term, which was a very nice way to put it. Emina was trying to do this very evil editing thing, I see. The way Sang Hanbin said it made me feel like, okay, they're just putting the music there, and he was a bit bothered by it. A minor inconvenience, nothing big. So Matthew's edits are just getting more and more questionable. Personally, I really hate it. I hate the mixed signals they're sending us. I do think they're mainly due to drama purposes, but a lot of people are saying they're evil editing him. They want him to drop. A lot of people are saying it's not evil editing. They're just showing the way it is. I don't know. I really hate that I'm not understanding where his storyline is going. I do not see them kicking him out or evil editing him in such a way that everyone drops him. Mostly because he's the one global trainee, apart from Jung Hao, where both Korean and international voters are like, okay, we like him. And he got very positive edits before, so I think this is all for drama. There was also this comment which I thought was very interesting, that maybe they want him to drop a little bit of ranks, so that in the finals people do not feel like he's super safe, so he actually makes it in. Like, that is interesting. I don't know why they would do that. I do see them wanting a little bit of spiciness, so having a shift on the top 9 before we get to the final, so it's not seem super fabricated. Then we got to see Over Me team, and we got some Lee Jung-hyun screen time. I was very surprised by it, very appreciative of it because he's very, very handsome. I think he's one of the top visuals of the show. And he got some good editing in this team. We had like the nail in the coffin for Ma Jing-sheng. We see these attitudes in Produce series all the time where people wanted more than what they were given. Even in this series, we saw that with Min pleading for the Kill This Love team to give him a little bit more lines because he wasn't content with what he had. So I think it's normal to see this kind of stuff. The way Jung-woo handled it though, like, no, the parts are this way and we're already distributed it, so you're gonna accept it. That was harsh, but I appreciate this firmness in the leadership. I think this was the main reason why Rush Hour team escalated the way it did. Sometimes as a leader, you just need to be very strict because if you tolerate that for one member and then another member is like, oh, but I don't like my part either. Hats off for Jung-woo for being so brave because it's pretty hard to stand up and say, no, we're not gonna do that. How Mnet is evil editing trainees that were eliminated. Like, you don't need to do that. But okay, go off, I guess. Someone who is in the Over Me team that we didn't get to see much of was Jay. I'm gonna get more into it later, but we barely got to see him there. Ricky got to say, oh, Ma Jing-sheng is doing his thing again. They had a hard time choosing a leader, and Jung-hao and Keita were not the leader, which I was surprised. Jungwoo with very nice edits coming for him left and right. Very happy for him getting those edits. Then we got the Switch team. Everyone but Woomuti and I think Kandam kind of gave up. And as much as I understand them, if I was in their situation, I would probably not want to do anything as well because I knew I was going to be eliminated. But at the same time, when you're in a show like this, even if I know I'm going to be eliminated, I want to become popular, right? I want to get a momentum going so out of the show I can succeed. So giving up seems extremely unfair to other members, other people who were eliminated before them. It cannot help your image, right? They will not get that footage and be like, oh my gosh, pity them. It's always going to come off in the wrong way that you're giving up on something. Them evil editing Ichan and Dungan, I think, for a bit. Dungan was just resting and then he was kind of brought into the mess. And although I know this is very much likely a coping mechanism for them, grabbing this opportunity and throwing it out the window with those silly comments and pessimistic view just kills all the progress that they had made so far. If they all had the mindset that Woomuti had, they could have all gone home and people would be hurting a lot more that they went home instead of, well, they didn't want to be there anyways. Schweibo, kind of a lost cause. He didn't even want to try. They had already seen the interim ranks, right? So I would think Schweibo would want to have something because he was ranked pretty high in the interim. I think like 16 or 17. I'm not sure what position he was, but he was ranked pretty high. Well, he completely giving up in the Fuse Special, which he was for sure gonna perform, and completely giving up on this one. That was the last straw for me. Supercharger was a group that hurt me the most. They practiced, and on practice you could see they were doing good, they were doing better. But then where to perform, both teams did very poorly, to the point that Dao, who in the first mission did everything wrong, was in the right position, but everyone else couldn't follow. I'm not sure when they filmed the self-evaluation, if they had 3 days, if they had 4 days, if they had 2 days. But apparently the choreography is extremely hard for people. And them breaking down after showing that they tried so hard, like day and night, they were there. And then knowing that the only survivor was Haruto from this team broke me. He is the one who had like the best mentality. He was like, this song is hard, maybe I get eliminated, but at least I don't know how to wear the vest again. I want to be as positive and see things as he does. So I really hate the vest thing. I think it traumatized the poor kid. I was really mad at it when it happened, but now I'm happy that he can have this moment to compare and be like, okay, nothing is worse than that. That was basically what we saw from each team. There was a lot of drama, a lot of evil editing of people who were eliminated already. Yichan, Donggun, Ma Jing-sheng. That was really necessary. But as I said, if you're there, want to try to show that you're trying your best. We also had my favorite parts, which was the sports day parts where the trainees played with each other. We had princesses. We had Doha as a princess, Ganwook as a princess, Jiwoong as a princess, and Donggun, who looked amazing as a princess. Well, he looks amazing every day. And the whole sports segment was so funny, so good. But my favorite segment was Sowon and Woonki just vlogging around the trainees. That was absolutely my favorite. We could have a whole episode of that and I would not be mad. Them just going into the practice rooms of other trainees was super funny, and we got to see morning Sunghanmin and Takoto. Everything was so good. I love this duo. Really, really the best duo. I think the best friendship that kind of formed. They're basically soulmates. Getting off of this high note, let's go and talk about the eliminated trainees and the ranks. Out of all of the trainees that were eliminated, the ones that hurt me the most, definitely Kong. Oh my gosh, he was dropped. He is one of the most talented vocalists. His performance in Butterfly was amazing. I knew he was going to be able to survive, but it still hurts. I really, really liked his performances. I really, really liked every performance he was in was very, very good. He is going to be missed so much. Wumati is another one that I'm sure hurts a lot of people. He had his iconic... He has shown himself in so many ways in Boys Planet. He was shown as someone funny, a good leader, and someone who never gives up. And the section where he was trying to bring his team up in Switch really, really, really made me respect him so much. That was like the point for me where I was like, damn. The way he was so thrilled to still be able to perform Switch, not even to perform it, but to just practice Switch while his whole team was giving up was really heartbreaking to see. And he was so excited to be part of the whole process, talking to the composers, doing the choreography, being the killing part. I was just so happy dealing with that song, and that broke me to pieces. He is the most deserving of being one of the 28 that survived. If I had a planet pass, I would definitely give it to him. Not only was he an amazing performer, vocalist, he was just so grateful to be there. He had such a good mentality that I really think he deserved. Limousine team all going home. At least they all went home with a banger. They can all go home in a limousine and sing. Anthony was amazing. Christian, I feel so bad. He was evil edited. But in Limousine, he did such a good job. I am in love with his voice. His tone, his vocal color are also nice. Having a chance to redeem himself. I mean, he redeemed himself a little bit too late. This kills me. And Park Ji-hoo is a gem. He is so talented. To be that young, to be able to write his own raps, to sing so well, to have that much charisma and stage presence. He showed himself in Hot Sauce Center, and I was like blown away by him. And then in Limousine, a completely new side to him, a more raw side, and he was able to show that he is a great lyricist. And they feel so robbed for me, you know, because we could see so much from these kids growing, but unless they get scouted by a really big company, they don't really have a chance unless being in the Nugu group. So that hurts me a lot. Someone that didn't really hurt me, but that like the whole edit was made to hurt me, was Moon Jun-hyun. Like every time they pan him and the whole everyone crying because of him, I wasn't really attached to him that much, but the whole setting hurts. Someone that hurts a lot, the blue house and the red house going, we have no more houses left. I think all of the episodes until now, we had something my house related. So very sad to see them go to their own houses. I'm sad about it because I really like them as characters and their personalities. But I understand that realistically, everyone is so talented and people that are more talented kind of deserve more. If they want to keep on being idols, they are so charming that they for sure will do great. Mingyu shows that he's such a hard worker. If he actually wants to commit to being an idol, he can do it. And Doha, I hope I see him acting or even singing, doing whatever he likes soon. Lastly, that hurts me a lot is Oh Seung-min. After his rush hour moment where he opened up that he got removed from his group, he came to the show, and if he doesn't debut here, he probably won't have a chance. That really hurts. And he's so cute and he has such a nice smile and everything. So I hope week one has something planned for him. I know week one sucks, but I really hope they have something planned for him because that is so incredibly unfair to remove him of his group out of nowhere and having compete in the show, not giving him any screen time, and then him just staying in a very bad group where he didn't really know how to deal with the situation. That was horrible. Very sad for him. And then every time he was happy for like Takoto or Ricky surviving, it just broke my heart. I'm especially sad for those that were evil edited, such as Christian, Lee Dao. Also, Lim Jun-seo, I feel like he could do so great. I'm gonna miss most, if not all of them. Most of them did such a good job in their last mission that it's really hard to come to terms with that they're going away. I know I said throughout the video that we would be deep talking about the ranks, but post-editing it, I realized that there was too much I talked about while having a whole look on the ranks this time. So I think it's just better for me to do a separate video about that, or else this video would be 1 hour long. So let's just keep the rank as this is our new top 9. We had 2 new entries, which were Taeray and Ganuk. Taeray was not super surprising because I feel a lot of people saw that coming. However, seeing how he had almost no screen time until the last episode, he received praise from the judges, but he never got a storyline for himself. And he still hasn't gotten a storyline for himself only. Even in episode 7, where he was kind of the main character, there was a lot of screen time for everyone. I think that is the most surprising part, not that he's actually in the top 9. Ganuk finally is going to sleep happily after that elimination. I mean, he made it to the top 9 a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it was going to rank higher afterwards. Our 2 drops were Hui and Jay. Jay, who, as I already said through the video, was a bit invisible in this episode. I do think they're going for the invisible edit for him. I don't think he has a lot of chance in debuting right now, but he's definitely going to the finals. I mean, he has already a pretty fan base, just not a lot of Korean votes, and the producers already milked the drama from Jay and from Hui. I don't feel like there is going to be a lot of screen time for Jay. And Hui also was very milked and very used for content only. He was basically invisible as well in the last episode, even though he did amazing, when he probably had a huge part in deciding the arrangements and the producing of Tomboy. We will see more of him. Obviously, they're not going to give him 0 screen time from now on. Well, with the picks shrinking, the Pentagon fans still not deciding whether they want him in or not. I think they decided that they do not want him in. There are like some people who are like, no, we need to put him in, because why else would he be in the program if not to debut? And Pentagon's contract is expiring this year, so it's not like they have a lot to do. With the confusion of the fandom, I do not see much for him either. The other top 9 remained the same. We had some shifts in ranks, but the real competition here is for 7th, 8th, 9th places. I think Keita is still not a lock-in into the final debut. Sung Hanbin, he has been placing 1 since the very first episode, and that's kind of insane. I see Yujin can get his place, like the votes are not so different, but we'll have to see. From the survivors, I think the most notable placings were Kim Jun-hyun. Park Han-min, we already know he was gonna rise. Ricky is steady where he is. I thought he was gonna place like 12, but we already knew 12 was gonna be Jay. So Sungin and Sowon always being back-to-back in the rankings is kind of funny to me. Woonki survived, and I think everyone cheered, me included, after all that he had gone through with a few special team. Even in his life being like removed from his team, all of that, he deserves at least to perform again. So very happy about it. I think he's going to be rising from now on. We now see him getting a little bit of screen time, better than like the first 5 episodes, I think even 6 episodes where he got 0 screen time. In the first survival announcement, they even cut his speech out, so I thought he was not going to come back, but I'm very glad he did. Lee Jung-hyun, I also think he's going to rise a bit because he had actually a lot of screen time. Overall, the way he manifested his position was so funny and so amazing. Like, manifestation works. Takuto and Schweibo are the ones people are the most mad about from being in the 28th spots this season. I have a lot of talented trainees. Takuto is the only one that I would say is a dozen because he lacks basic skills, but everyone else is pretty packed. I think Schweibo showed that he is pretty skilled as well, but his attitude kind of sucked. We finally found out that Zihao can actually speak, which is a lot, seeing that he had 0.01 seconds of screen time in all of the last episodes combined. I do see him rising because his 1 pick is pretty strong, and now that we're down for 3 picks, I think he's gonna rise a lot. I did feel like he was a lot lower than I thought he was. Global votes are carrying him, so depending on the weight of the Korean votes next time, in case it increases, then maybe he won't make it to the finals, but I'm pretty confident we'll be seeing him there. Very confused of why they gave him some screen time. It's a bit fishy, but we'll be accepting the crumbs while they're good, right? That's it for the rankings. We'll do a more deep analysis of it. Be tuned for that. For the 3 picks, I am voting for my 1 pick, which is Sowon. I decided he is my beloved. I love his content outside of Boys Planet. I love his content in Boys Planet. So I'm rotating my other 2 picks. If you guys have any suggestions, anyone you guys want to save, tell me. In exchange, promise me you're gonna vote someone for 1 day or 2 days or 4 days or every day. No, it's okay, not every day. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll probably be here soon. Okay, bye.